Welcome back in, everybody. Another episode here of the Wraparound by Porch. And I told you last week that, we would either be on a porch outside or in the field, or we would actually be in the studio. So here we are in the studio this week. And it's also because it's just freezing cold and like damp and rainy here in Virginia. Not the best time to be being outside. It's why I'm dressed the way I am. It's cold as all get out. So, winter inspections are some of my least favorite times to be inspecting just because it is that cold. But I would love to know what it's like to do winter inspections around the rest of the country. What's it like to do a winter inspection up in North Dakota or in Alaska? So if you're one of those home inspectors that's up in one of the frigid hinterlands of the North, then please write in. Tell me what it's like to inspect in your neck of the woods in the winter. I would love to hear it. That'd be really, really cool. So we've got a jam-packed episode today. We've got an interview with one of my absolute favorite people that I have ever met on the home inspection conference circuit or just in the home inspection field in general. Honestly, I don't think that you can ever talk to the guy or his wife, Maria, without just leaving feeling inspired and motivated and encouraged. Incredible dude. And he has an incredible story. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. So this is actually going to be a highlight reel, basically, of the interview that I did with him at Inspection Super Conference. Because if you want to hear the whole interview, I encourage you to go check out the Wraparound by Porch podcast. It's available everywhere that you get your podcasts, wherever you happen to listen to incredible, awesome, epic audio like this show. So, but before we get into that interview, we've got a special guest. So we're going to get him on the Zoom hotline and welcome in Inspector AJ.
Recording in progress.
All right. Do I look like I'm sick as a dog? Because I set all this crap up and I don't know how some of these YouTubers or TikTokers such as yourself, just look like camera ready all the time. But I feel like
it's the lighting from the phones.
Is that what it is? You just like hold it up here. You got one hand here recording, one hand over here for the light.
Oh, get ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
That's it. To get your good side. It's perfect, man.
Yeah.
All right. So jumping into this here, new segment that we're going to be doing this week. I don't know if it's like a recurring segment, but since it's just after Thanksgiving, AJ, I totally wanted to get you on because I want to do a quick round of what should home inspectors be thankful for.
Okay.
So what do you think? You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. Love it, man. All right. So top 10 things that you are thankful for as a home inspector in 2023. No, wait, it's only 2022, isn't it?
Right now it's, oh my God, it feels like it's 2023.
Dude, I've lost all track of time, man. All right. So top 10 things that you are thankful for in 2022. Let's go.
I am thankful for a good support network.
Ooh, that's a good one, dude.
Yeah.
So who would that consist of?
So, I'm kind of partial to Internachi. So they have the emergency forums,
Okay.
So that if I'm in the field doing an inspection, let's say either later in the evening or in the morning, and there's not really anybody I can call, I can go to the emergency forum, post, an issue, or go to their Facebook page, post an issue, and have somebody almost give me an answer within just a few minutes.
Oh, that's a good point. So, okay. So good support system. Do you have like other people that you keep in your support system as well besides Internachi? Who'd that be?
So a couple people that actually. Ethan Hotchkiss, Brian Stanley, and Dallas White.
I aspire to Ethan's beard growth. I think he and Donnie Bentley are like inspector beard goals,
Ethan's beard is majestic.
Dude, I don't know how he does it. And he does the bow tie thing too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. That's his signature thing is the bow tie.
Classy AF, I tell you, man. Okay, so good support system. Number 2, what you got?
Number 2, I would say a good assortment of reliable tools.
Good. Okay, good tools. Number 3, what you got?
Number 3, I am thankful for continuing education. Because truthfully, I learn something new every day.
I don't care how many years you're in this. It seems like that's the case. You always pick up something new.
Every day, I learn something new. Whether it be, a new code that's out, something that's potentially changing, or something that I've seen every day for years and have never reported it because I didn't know it.
Right.
Happens. Yeah. I am thankful for 24-hour turnaround time on mold analysis.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or less.
That's very specific.
Yeah, so it's funny. On my way home, before I hopped on this Zoom, I stopped at FedEx and I dropped off some samples that I took today, and I should have them before 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Dude, that's majestic, man. Who do you use?
Breeze. Well, I use Breeze, and they go through Priority Lab.
Yeah, good people. So good ownership too. All right, that's 4. Hit me with 5.
Number 5 would be the ease of reporting. So like the software that I use.
Ease of reporting. Which one do you use again?
I use
Oh!
Oh no.
Killing me, Smalls.
Twist the knife while it's in there.
Damn it, we're gonna have to cut that one out. Give me a different number 5.
Let's see. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. A different number 5. I would go with. I actually have an app called Grasshopper. It costs about $250 a year, and I have 5 lines through it. So if somebody calls our office number, it'll ring to my phone, but it'll also ring to 4 other inspectors. And,
you know, there's answering services that can help you with this too.
Really?
Namely, like ACC, guys like that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure you've never heard of them.
I've heard of like call centers and stuff like that, but I've never had the opportunity to actually to work with them.
Okay, no, I'll get you in touch with Paula Penix. She's awesome, but they actually will memorize or work from your company's messaging, your branding, all this stuff. So they'll answer like they're part of your team. So
that's pretty cool, man.
It is pretty cool. Okay, 6. What you got?
Number 6, I would say that I am thankful for the way that at least my network of realtors communicate with their clients. Yeah, and I'm thankful for the ability to communicate fast with them.
Sure, no doubt. And I know they appreciate that too, for sure.
Yeah, they really do.
On that one, do you mind if I throw out number 7?
Hit me.
Dude, I love and am so thankful for agents that stick with you through the years, where you build a good rapport with them, you know. Yep. It's, again, they know what to expect, their clients know what to expect, and it's some of my closest friendships are just with some of those realtors I've worked with for almost a decade.
Absolutely, man. It's the 95% of our business is word of mouth from agents. So
yeah. Okay, so number 8, what are you thankful for?
I am thankful for Supra and their ability to grant us remote access to key boxes, so that we don't have to like have an agent present, because that, you know, I'll be honest with you, if I was an agent, I would not want to hire or have my clients hire an inspector that can't get into the box.
Okay, number 9.
Number 9, that would be, I'm thankful for social media.
Yeah, dude.
Because I mean, I can't really. There's not an hour goes by that, you know, I'm not checking, you know, one of my forms of social media to either respond to people or to edit a video and get it ready to post or anything like that. Because I mean, it's, you know, social media is what blew up for me, so I got to, you know, figure a way to pay it forward and pay it back.
No, that's so good, man. That's so good. And for number 10, what would you do to pay it forward?
What would I do to pay it forward? If I had the option, I would love to set up, not really like an education program, but I would like to actually create the education that is state approved in all 50 states. You know, right now there are companies out there that, you know, $600-700 a pop, but I would like to do it for almost literally cost.
Yeah, that's killer, dude. That's
awesome,
awesome,
man.
No, so AJ, I appreciate you jumping on, man.
Yeah,
this has been so good, but no, I'd love to have you back on the show anytime, bro.
Anytime. Hopefully I didn't have any shitty answers.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, good stuff. I'll look forward to seeing you next time on here.
All right, Brad. If you need anything else, man, let me know.
I'm sitting here with Istvan Jacko of Jacko Home Inspections. How you doing today, man?
Doing excellent. Good to be here, Brad.
That's great. Well, I'm so glad that you could be part of the show, sitting in with us. You have done an incredible job with your business, starting as a home inspector yourself. Am I correct?
That is correct.
And then expanding to starting and growing other businesses as well. That sounds like quite a business journey as an entrepreneur.
It is, and it's like the dream of entrepreneurs, to build something that can actually run without yourself.
What does that look like, running without yourself? How do you take it from square one to that level?
There are a lot of steps, but when you break it down to 3 things, it would be systems, people, resources. If you can figure out these 3 things, they're the biggest things that are going to help you build something that you can scale and that you can replace yourself, essentially, you know, get yourself like out of the job, or you can fire yourself from doing things and start getting other people in place. And it starts with systems. A lot of people, lots of times, build something, they're the product, they're doing it over and over. When it gets to the point that they feel that stretch, was that there's that demand or opportunity to grow, they start hiring people, but they get really disappointed, frustrated in the results. People don't do things the way they show them. And it really comes down to what kind of systems are you building? So if you're even at the beginning, it's just you and you don't even know if you're going to grow, just to take the time and document stuff to start creating systems that one day you'll be able to hand off to somebody else and create that consistent result is really key to be doing as you are starting to build that business.
What were some of the first things that you really put in place, or what were some of the first notes that you can remember making as far as running your own business and implementing systems?
It was just me doing the inspections for a long time, and it was starting with what are the things that I don't like to do, or maybe I'm not really good at, or are not the most productive. We can start there. Let's start with the simple things. The home inspection itself, I was concerned that if I hired somebody and they weren't good at it, there was a lot of liability there. So there was a lot of fear in giving that up.
Mm-hmm.
But what about answering the phone? If I
Right.
took the phone off my hands, that would free up a whole lot of time for marketing, networking, and be able to focus on my clients while I'm in the inspection instead of being in a crawl space trying to take a phone call. So I started with what does somebody in the office need to know, and started writing down, pricing, scripts, what questions that they need to ask to make sure they get the information that we need to appropriately price it, put the time aside to get the job done, and know what I was walking into before I did it. And the funny thing is, just getting somebody else to answer the phone, I'm a really nice guy, so I always want to help people.
Right.
And if somebody asked me the price and they just sat there waiting for a number, I often undershot it $25, maybe once in a while $50, because I really like the agent they're working with. When I got somebody else answering the phone, they just went off the script, they did the numbers, and
Started making more money.
they literally paid for themselves. They paid for their salary.
Right.
I was shocked. When it comes to growing a business, if you don't know how to do it, the fast track is start working with somebody who does know how to do it.
Sure.
That was the biggest game changer for me. I went from single inspector, and I was doing radon testing. I finally added sewer, and I hired another inspector. And by default, because it was the demand there, I grew over 100%. It was
Wow.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But at that point, his schedule's full, mine's full. I really don't know how to handle more calendars, more schedules. I was trying to figure all this stuff out. I asked for help.
Sure.
And
what was the help that you received? Where'd you go for it?
I actually went with, MIC, with Mike Crow. And the first time I signed up, I actually was at 3 Days of Secrets Revealed, and there was people on stage sharing their numbers that they were over $1 million, over $2 million, over $3 million, $5 million, $8 million. And I was sitting there shocked. I was like, you can make more than $1 million a year doing this, in sales. Like,
Wow.
Everybody I knew was a single man operation. So it
Right.
just seemed odd, crazy, unexpected. And that's where I knew that those guys standing up there on stage know something I don't, and I wanted to know what it was. And I'd say the biggest thing, like the science, you get the really like what is the one thing that is going to change anybody's business? It's not getting the information. It's not learning. It's not paying for the coaching. It's not all of that stuff. All that's part of the formula. But the one thing that keeps people one-man operation who want to grow, some don't, I understand, but the ones that want to grow but stay one man, and the ones that go multi-inspector and hit million plus, is implementation.
Actually doing the work and taking the steps yourself.
You got to put it in place. And sometimes when you first start hearing ideas, or you see a new product, some marketing campaigns, whatever kind of things that are out there, you're thinking, I don't know if that'll work, and you complicate things. Or my market's different, so I did something different and it didn't work for me. Instead of going, this is how it's done, just do this. After you've done it, you can tweak it, but do it simple, just put it in place. And that's what I did. I was taught things, I was shown things, and I just did it the way they told me to do it. And
It worked.
it just works. I think there's a fear that they're going to spend that money and they're not going to see a return.
Okay.
And it's crazy because a lot of people do not take the time to invest in themselves.
Right.
They'll spend $1,000 on a phone, They'll not want to sit through a seminar that would be 8 hours, but they'll binge watch movies on Netflix.
Sure.
Go right through a season after season after season and just binge it. And there's so much time that we could be putting into bettering ourselves. And personally, if you're not doing something every day to make tomorrow better, you're missing an opportunity.
Dude, that's good.
You're missing an opportunity because a lot of people say, I'm happy where I am. But
are you?
I don't. What I know is there are some things I see that I'm like, hey, that would be really cool if I had that. Or if one day I could go do that, or if I could experience that. Like there are things that I want to do in life. And to sit back and just be living the same life I was yesterday, I'm not putting anybody down if that's what they want to do. But I feel like I was born to fulfill a purpose.
Sure.
And the only way I'm going to fulfill that purpose is figuring out who I am, what I'm capable of doing, and equipping myself to be better and better at doing that. So I have a book. It's called The Victory Mindset. And you can find it on Amazon. But the Victory Mindset, this book is my personal story. And the reason behind me writing this book, this is personal. This is my story. This is me, at 16 years old, questioning whether I just want to end it all because life just sucked. I hated it. Home life just sucked. And I realized instead of ending it, I had to make a change. And this is the part that changes people's lives when they stop asking, or when they stop telling themselves why things won't work or why they can't change it or why they're stuck here. They come up with these reasons for it, which is kind of excuses, right? To stay where we're at. I had to step out of my comfort zone. I had to step into the unknown. I had to make a change, or I felt like at the end, it would be a very short life because I didn't like it. And a lot of the things that I went through, I wrote about in the book because I identified with that broken house. I identified with being poor. I identified with always struggling. I identified with life was hard. That was my identity. And I held on to it till one day I forgave the people who hurt me in a way that, literally, like my heart broke for them. That somebody else would love someone, tell them that they love them and treat them in such a poor way, as their child, or it could be a spouse, it could be anything, but to treat somebody else that way, that they see that as love. What did that person go through to understand that as love? And my heart broke. And at that moment, in my mind, I still wanted to be mad. I was like, but they did all these things to me and the way they treated me. I couldn't. I had this suddenly this empathy, this, forgiveness. And that's when my life started changing. And I became aware that all the bad things that kept happening after I left home, I disowned my family for 3.5 years. Why was I still living that life after I left the people that were hurting me? I'm still living the life. And it was me that was doing it to myself every day because I identified as it. And I didn't want to let go of that identity. That's who I was. That's all I knew. And the fear of letting go of that to find out who I was, it wasn't easy. And I wanted to have somebody to blame. It was so much easier, at least then I thought, to just blame somebody else for all my mistakes and all my mishaps. It wasn't my fault that I was raised this way. But the reality was every choice I was making every day was my responsibility, and I was not holding myself accountable. And once I had nobody left to blame, I started making choices to find out how to live a better life.
Hey, thanks so much for watching and hanging out with us today on The Wraparound. Remember to like and subscribe to the show, turn on notifications so that you don't miss a single episode, and share this with somebody that you think would really, really enjoy it. So if you want to catch the full-length interview, again, go check it out at the Wraparound Podcast, wherever you happen to listen to your podcast. So thank you so much to Ishban Jocko. Thank you so much to Inspector AJ for coming on today. And thank you to today's sponsor. Hey folks, Brad here for Palm Tech. As a home inspector, I absolutely love things that make my work-life balance that much easier. Sometimes for me, it's a nice cold beer at the end of a long day, but when I'm out in the field, nothing is better than the clean, simple functionality of high-quality inspection software. It's called Palm Tech Complete. And this highly anticipated launch is going to represent the culmination of decades of innovation and development. We're so excited about it here at Palm Tech that we want to give you a sneak peek of what you're going to get to experience for yourselves very soon. Put simply, it'll simplify how you manage your home inspection business. This is a new cross-platform app that will allow you to automate your payments, your agreements, and your customer communication. It's clean, fast, and it even has voice command for intuitive data entry. Photos and videos are easy to capture and edit, templates are easy to customize, and the live data sync keeps things moving smoothly, whether you're a single inspector or part of a team. And did I mention it's all new? I mean, did you look at it? My gosh, that thing was gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and so easy to use. Again, we are so excited. The debut is imminent, and I would say that the best is yet to come, but I think it's probably more accurate to say that the best is almost here.